Renee's Creative Casa. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you guys are here. In today's video, we are going to be building a raised planter for some of my vegetables for this year. Last year I had all of my vegetables in little containers, and I wanted to do something that was a little bit different and something that would give me a little bit more space. So I recruited my husband to help me put together this planter so that I can have my vegetables in there and have them a little bit more spread out, at the same time have them further up off of the ground. So I'm excited to show you guys that process. Without further ado, let's get to building. Okay, so the first steps to putting this planter together is going to be to kind of measure out where we're going to dig the holes at for the 4x4 post, because that's going to be our foundation for this planter. So my husband's just kind of measured everything out, and then he's just using some spray paint to kind of mark those locations. He's doing some dad moves right now currently, and I did tell him I'm recording and I'm going to put this in my video, so just be prepared to see that. But anyways, we're right now he's digging the holes for him, and then you can kind of see he's just going in the corner of the places where he has put down the black paint at to make sure that everything is going to be square once we start putting the actual 1x6s on. So now he is just going to cut these 4x4 posts just directly in half. So he's measured them off, and they're going to be 6 feet a piece. Each one is 12 feet long, so they're going to be 6 feet a piece. He's measured them, and now he's just marking them with the speed square to make sure that everything is square. Once he gets everything marked, he's going to go ahead and cut them. He's using these metal sawhorses to cut them on, and then he's just going to kind of cut one side and then turn it and cut the opposite side. He's going to do all of them like that. So in all, this project only took us 2 of these 12-foot 4x4 posts, and it worked out perfect because they are just a little bit higher than where my the actual top of my planter is going to be at. So he decided he wanted to go ahead and put these gallon Ziploc bags on the end of them before we put them in the dirt, because it's just kind of used to slow down the deterioration process on the end, because those ends will soak up moisture. So if they have the Ziploc bag on it, it's just to kind of slow it down. He's thinking I may get like 2 or 3 years out of this planter without having to replace anything on it. So just by having these Ziplocs in place, that'll give us that time that we're looking for. So once we get our posts into the ground, he's going to go ahead and cover them up with the dirt, and then he has this level that kind of straps to the corner of the post. It has like a rubber band around it that'll bring it around to the other side, and it actually does have some little levels in it, so you can see if what you're putting in the ground is level or not. And then he's measuring right here for the length of our 1x6s. We are using the 1x6 tongue and groove. I am going to probably be painting these so that I can get more use out of them, because I know being out in the weather and plus full of soil, they are going to deteriorate quicker on me. So I did pick up some all-season paint. I will show you guys that later in the video, that I think I'm going to go ahead and put on there just to kind of slow that down. And once he finishes right here, I'll show you he is putting a 45-degree angle on these 1x6s, because they are going to meet at the corner of each of those posts, and the tongue and groove is just going to kind of fit inside each other, and he is doing it with the groove facing down so that the groove, when it rains, the groove doesn't actually hold any water in it. right now he is marking it with the pencil where he's going to put where I would like for the top one to be at according to my height. And now he has a level, a laser level that is set up, and he's marking them all at exactly the same place, so that once we get it all, the 1x6 put on, that they're level on either side of these 4x4 posts. Once we get all of our 1x6s on all four sides, we did do the height of 3 of them. We're now measuring around the inside because we're going to do a 2x4 frame around the inside, so that I can put my 2x4s on that's going to actually go across the bottom to help hold my soil into place. And as you guys can see, we had lots of help from Sissy and Stella. We were outside working all day that day, and they were outside with us most of the time. So it was, you can really call it and say it was a family project. So this is what it looks like inside of my planter after we get the 2x4 frame put on. And then we're just going to measure and mark out every 10 inches on the inside here where he is going to be putting 2x4s across there. And once he gets those 2x4s across, I'll have actually area to put down my mesh and my landscape fabric. And I also forgot to mention to you guys that for this project, my husband is using some stainless steel screws to screw everything into place, so that if one of the pieces rots or one of the pieces gets messed up, we can always unscrew it, and we don't have to actually go through the hassle of taking the whole thing apart because we used nails. After he gets the 2x4s inside the planter, he just measured off along the bottom on both sides some treated 2x4s, and now he is just using some 1x6s not 1x6s, but 5/4 deck boards to cut across, and he's actually going to make me like a little table across the bottom part of my planter so that I can put my plants or anything like that I'm working on. So here you can see that we are attaching the 2x4, and then once we get it into place, we're just going to start laying the deck boards across that, and he'll screw those down into place, and that way I'll have just like a small table under the part of this planter that I can use to have my soil and, like I say, anything that I'm working on at the moment, plus a little bit of extra storage. Also on this material, guys, this is extra material that we had. The only thing that my husband had to go and buy were the 4x4 posts. We recently put in a set of stairs, so we had a lot of this material left over, and we just had it stored under the house. Okay, so now that we have got the whole thing together, sorry about the lighting on this, guys. It was getting dark on me, and it has been like flooding all week long. So I'm using this the gutter mesh to cover the bottom, and I'm going to be stapling it in place. So I did show you guys the staple and the staple guns that I'm going to be using. But this is the gutter guard. It's actually used to put over the top of your gutters to keep from leaves and stuff from getting down inside of there. But it is a very, very thick mesh, like a plastic mesh, so I think this will be great to be used in this instance. I'm going to staple rows of it down along the bottom part of my planter, and then once I get it in place, I will go back over that with the landscape fabric. And once I have those two things in place, along with the 2x4s across the bottom, I am hoping that that will be enough support for me to actually put my soil in to start my garden with. Okay, so I got all of my gutter guard down into place, and also I got a break in the rain for me to be able to get outside and film this part. This is the Professional Ultimate Grade landscape fabric. This is like a breathable fabric that you can put down. A lot of people use it for flower beds and stuff like that. They use it to keep from the weeds coming up through there, but I'm going to use it on top of the mesh gutter guard to see if it will actually help to hold my soil in place more. I do know that once it rains, that a lot of the soil is going to absorb a lot of the water, but I also want to have a way for it to escape, and I don't want to have just bare wood down there on the bottom because I don't want it to rot faster. So I'm hoping that this technique will work. I'm just going to lay this down in there and try to get it all kind of leveled out in there, evened out, and then I'm just going to staple it the same way that I did the gutter guard. And then once I get that into place, I hope that's going to work, but I'm not sure if it will or not. I'll let you guys know if it does, and you guys let me know in the comments down below if there's anything that you guys have tried for a little project like this that you guys found worked out better than maybe the technique that I'm using right here. So this is my planter once I'm finished, and you can see when I push down on it right there that it is pretty sturdy there in the top. So hopefully that'll hold for me. This is the Valspar Flat Exterior Season Plus. So it has the paint and the primer in it with the Season Guard technology on it. I mean, the Season Shield technology on it. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I think I am going to go ahead and try and use it. And those are just some pansies for my mailbox that I haven't put up yet, but you guys can see this is how my planter turned out, and I really like it. I do really like the fact that it has a little table there so I can store some stuff on, and I think it turned out great. I'm very excited to get it planted. And you guys can see here, like, this is just in my yard, and you can see how much water that is there. That's how much it's been raining. And since I actually filmed this part, it's rained like 3 or 4 more days, which is why my video is actually a little bit late going up, but there's nothing I can do about the rain, so I'm just doing the best I can. You guys still leave this video a thumbs up, please. Hey y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well as watching my way better half put together most of this planter for me, because I was in charge of mainly the camera and holding stuff here and there. So yeah, my way better half did most of the work. So I appreciate that from him. You guys let me know in the comments down below if you think my idea for the soil, for the little platform that I have holding my soil in place, is going to work. And also I want to apologize for how long it took to get this video ready, because we were working outside on this. Obviously it's an outdoor planter, and it has been raining here in southern Mississippi for like, I don't know, 100 and something days straight. So it's been very hard to be able to get outside and do anything. So hopefully some of my next videos coming up, you guys will be able to see me getting my vegetables planted and getting some of my plants that I have outside repotted because some of them did die over the winter time, and then some of them had to be cut back really far, which I have already cut them back to where the new growth can start to come out. So I'll show you guys kind of what that looks like to get them repotted and stuff, and hopefully those will be coming up in some of my videos. So if you are new here, I hope that you will consider liking this video as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel and turning on your post notifications so you get an update every single time I upload a new video, which is normally on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Sometimes I do miss, and I apologize for that, but those are my usual days. You guys can follow me on Facebook. Join my little Facebook group. It's Renee's Creative Casa. It is a public group, so everyone can find it, and over there we like to share some crafting that we do, as well as anything else that might come up in our just day-to-day. And I also post my new videos over there, so you guys can check those out. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok as _Renee_Rodriguez_. So you can find me over there, which normally I just post my new videos, and then on TikTok I post some shorter versions of my YouTube videos, so you can follow me over there if you just want like a 60-second clip of what I'm working on. You can find that on TikTok. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for today. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.